Make sure you hit that like button when y'all come up in here, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button when y'all come up in here, man. Make sure you hitting it now. Make sure y'all hitting it. Make sure y'all hitting it. There we go. Make sure y'all hitting that like button when y'all come up in here. Make sure y'all hitting the like button when you come up in here. Make sure you hitting it. Make sure you hitting it. Yeah. Let some of y'all get up in here real quick so we can talk about it, so we can discuss what we just seen. Loss. 24-22. From be honest, yeah. I know I had us to lose. I actually picked us to lose that same way by Green Bay getting the ball last and be able to kick a walk off field goal to end the game. So that part, what I thought, ended up happening. So um it wasn't an embarrassing loss, which is I was making just definitely didn't want that, never want that. But a loss is a loss. Ain't no moral victories. I am not happy at all. I can't be like, oh man, you know, it's a good team and good. Nah, man, that you ain't going far playing like that, man. Like the defense really gave the Texans every chance and every opportunity to win that game, and outside of Joe Mixon, the offense couldn't do couldn't do a thing. Make sure that light bulb when y'all come up in here. I see more people jump in here, but the lights ain't going up. Let's look at the numbers. CJ was 10 of 21 throwing for, I'm pretty sure, a career low, 47.6%. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that that's his career low. 85 yards, I'm pretty sure that's low as well. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Was sacked 4 times. Had a quarterback rating of 58.8. I'm pretty sure all that is a career. Joe Mixon carried the ball 25 times, had 115 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I know at one point he had 120, but those last couple of runs got them behind the sticks, so he wasn't able to. He lost 5 yards. Stephon Diggs was targeted 7 times, had 5 catches for only 23 yards. The Tank was targeted 4 times, had 0 catches. Xavier Hudson was targeted once, had for 11 yards, which actually was a great catch and a great play at that point in time of the game, something that we definitely needed. Dalton Schultz targeted 1 catch for 21 yards. I think that was like in the first quarter, I was like early on in the game. So obviously, I mean, CJ only had 85 yards. So obviously, we couldn't do anything passing the football wise. Will and Daniil both had a sack. Kalen Bullock had an interception. Never Hewitt had an interception. Jordan Love was 24 of 33 for 72.7 completion percentage, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had 2 interceptions. He did have 2 interceptions. Had a quarterback rating of 95.5. Josh Jacobs carried the ball 76 times. With no touchdowns, but had receiving touchdowns. Dobbs caught the ball 8 times, had 95 yards. Not Tank, but Love threw 3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers. One to Josh Jacobs, one to Tucker Kraft and Wilkes. Was able to spread the football around like I knew he could. They was able to attack the middle and underneath because of the whole linebacker situation. Also, they targeted opposite Stingley because it didn't really go at Stingley a lot. And I know Stingley had gave up a catch early on that second to last drive. Stingley made a good pass breakup as well. I think it was on 3rd down. Right before it was 4th down. I mean, not the 4th down. It was 2nd down because it was the play before Daniil Hunter sacked. Almost got the sack, and then the next play, Daniil Hunter got the sack. Man, the story of this game is the offense not able to produce because the offense wasn't able to protect your franchise quarterback, CJ Stroud. I mean, like, he was under pressure the rest of the whole entire game. Like I said, he was sacked 4 times. I know at one point he had more hurries and rushes than completions because like he kept they kept on getting to him, and he was slamming his hand, he was yelling and fussing at the offensive line trying to get them going. Uh, couldn't just couldn't get comfortable at all. That's part of the reason why we have to run the football the way we have to run the football, because you try to alleviate some of that pressure by running the football. But even some of them runs, especially like the long developing runs, they couldn't get stuff going. The offensive line just got completely outmantled, outclassed. Luckily for our offense, our defense and special teams was able to turn the football over. Luckily that we was able to get 2 interceptions, on Jordan Love. Luckily we was able to get we got good field position all game. We got feel good. We really got good field position throughout the junctions of the game. Like, it was like only one time when they had we backed them up, and then they had a real deep punt, and they would back us up. Outside that, we got good returns on kickoff returns. I mean, DP had a good return. Tank even had a good return. Like, we've had good returns. We got turnovers. We was able to get 3 turnovers a day. We got sacks and things like that. Our defense did everything they possibly could outside of actually scoring points themselves to keep us in this game, and allowed that this game went to the final seconds of the game, and Green Bay needed a walk-off field goal to win said game. I mean, yes, it was a good game as far as like like points were, like as far as like the final scoreboard. It wasn't what I thought it was gonna be, because I thought it was gonna be fireworks. It wasn't fireworks. Again, the Texans were able to get the points they were able to get because they gave them good field position throughout the game. But they were able to give them good field position throughout the game. But the offense just really was just supposed to be off the court this season, going into the season. That's what we're talking about: offense, offense, offense. Our offense wasn't do anything. They wasn't even forget get out first gear. They wasn't even able to get out of a gear, a half of a gear. Like, the offense outside of Joe Mixon was not able to do anything. Like wasn't able to do anything. And luckily, the reason why what touchdowns came off of Joe Mixon. Our touchdowns came off of Joe Mixon. And I just seen it. Shout out to that boy, Chris. I know Chris about to talk some trash. It is what it is. Shout out to that boy Chris for the super chat. Love, definitely appreciate it. Sub Texas Nation Spitz. Let's go. Texas have yet to be a winning record team, but they still contenders. Yeah, CJ got exposed, played awful, had multiple chances and still lost. Shout out Chris for the super chat, love. To say we haven't beat a good team, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Bears have a winning record, if I'm not mistaken, and the Bills also have a winning record. Bills had, and you can't say with the Bears. Yeah, actually, both teams had a winning record when we played them. Like, the Bears were 1-0 when we played them, and the Bills were 3-1 when we played them. So what are you talking about? Like, I don't get, which I know you talking trash. I mean, I don't even know what happened with the Colts today. I don't know if they won. I know last time I seen, AR was like 1 of 7 and an interception and stuff like that. I don't know what I don't know what happened to. I really don't know. I don't know if the Colts won. Only thing I know Tennessee lost the last time I checked. I mean, Buffalo was beating the mess out of them. Oh, the Colts won. I didn't know. I didn't know the Colts won. I mean, cool beans. Yeah, cool beans. And we'll see the Colts next week. Like I mean, it's going. We'll see the Colts next week, and it's about to get real interesting. It's about to get real interesting. But yeah, say that the Texans haven't beat anybody with a winning record yet. I mean, I think that's just or a good football team. That's just false, because we've beaten some good football teams, and we beat y'all. So if that time out. So by that you saying that y'all ain't a good football team. If you think that we have yet to be a good football team by that same standard and metric, y'all haven't beat. I mean y'all not a good football team. If you want to go by that. Like, if you want to go by that, if you want to go by that, hey, if that's the game that you want to play, you could play that game. Shout out to Chris once again for the super chat, love. the Colts are trash. So you're admitting that your own team is trash. Okay, hey. If you want to go down that route, and you want to say your own team is trash, by all means. I'm not saying the Texans are trash by any stretch of the imagination. I still believe the Texans are definitely contenders and not pretenders. But at the same time, we got issues and we got stuff that we need to address. The offensive line is something that we definitely need to address, especially the interior of the offensive line, because the tackles actually played well. The tackles actually played well as far as blocking on the outside zones, and also the tackles did their job because the pressure was coming up the middle. The pressure was coming up on Kenyon Green. The pressure was coming up on Juice Scruggs. The pressure was coming up on Shaq Mason, who I think has been playing horrible all season long. I think Shaq Mason's our worst offensive lineman. Like, that's where the pressure is coming up to put pressure on CJ and not allow him to get comfortable. He's not a run-first quarterback. He's not a guy who's trying to run around and make plays like that. He's a guy who wants to drop back, and he wants a clean pocket. He trash at his feet. He doesn't need things like that. He needs to sit back and survey the field, read the field, and make plays, and throw the football downfield and allow his playmakers to make plays. Also, I also need Tank Dell to catch touchdowns when he's given one. Earlier this season, people talking about Tank Dell wasn't getting a lot of targets. And I said it. I said the reason why they was doing all those things. The reason why they were doing all those things with the jet sweeps and all the little gadget stuff they was doing was to give everybody a chance, to make sure that Tank got a chance to touch the football, because obviously Nico was going to be the main target, and Stephon Diggs was going to make plays as well because he's going to do the cleaner stuff on these. So they want to guarantee him to actually touch the football. Right or wrong, how y'all feel about it? That's what I said a couple weeks ago once they officially named not Joe Mixon, but officially named that Nick was going to be out for 4 weeks. That, hey, we weren't going to see that no more. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, Joe Mixon kind of alluded to saying that. I kind of alluded to that in his conversation in the interview this past week. I think on what you call his podcast. I forgot what that dude's name is. Used to be, I think he was a linebacker. Joe Mixon was on his podcast earlier this week, but he kind of alluded to that, talking about like trying to find guys to get involved in the offense and touch the football and things like that. So I think kind of like alluded to that a little bit, that that's part of the reason why they were doing the things that they were doing, to make sure that Tank Dell was able to get the football, and that we were going to see something different, obviously, when Nico's not there. And we have. For the last 2 games, we haven't seen those little end around and jet sweeps and all those things with Tank Dell, but yet Tank Dell has not stepped up and made plays. It was a game against the Bears when he had it might not have been a touchdown, but it could have been definitely a touchdown. It definitely would have been a huge game, been a big play. Just dropped it. There was another one on the sideline they had that he just dropped. But I mean, you're the same page with quarterback. You got to make those plays. Well, it happened today in the end zone, right there. And forget hitting in your hands, it was in your lap. Like, that football was in Tank's lap in the end zone, and he wasn't able to come up with it. I need you to make these plays. When the football is coming your way, when your name and number is called, I need you to make plays. This is an NFL where, I mean, come on, like, things are a fraction. It's a game of inches. You lose or win by the smallest, minute things. And that's a situation where that could cause that, because if I'm not mistaken, again, you get an interception on the first drive, if I'm not mistaken, of Green Bay. And we'll go out there, interception. Cool. We got good field position. Boom. We're right there in the end zone. You have to cash in. You have to cash in. Say it with me again. You have to cash in. You get free plays and free opportunities and extra possessions. You have to cash in. First, we weren't getting turnovers. We got 4 turnovers. We got 3 today. We got to start cashing in on those turnovers. We got to start cashing in on those turnovers, because we didn't cash in on all the turnovers last week. I know we ended up blowing the Patriots out, so it may seem like that, but you got to cash overs. You got to cash in on those plays. So you get the football right there in the good position, right there in the end zone. You cannot settle for threes. Not against this quarterback who is fearless. Yeah, Jordan Love threw 2 picks. He also threw 3 interceptions. They say he's more like Brett Favre than he's like Aaron Rodgers. He does not care that he throws interception. He can care absolutely less. He was second in the league coming into today's game, second in the league with touchdowns. He's missed 2 games. Second in the league. Second in the NFL with touchdowns, and he already missed 2 games. And then we do today, went out there and threw 3 more. Went out there and threw 3 more. It don't matter that he threw 2, because then that gives him 8 interceptions on the season. He has 15 touchdowns. He has touchdowns right now. He's going to see. Jordan Love is going to have 30 plus touchdowns. He might have 15. He might have 12 to 15 interceptions, but he's going to have 30 plus touchdowns. They're going to take that because he's going to have a 2-to-1 interception ratio, and they're going to take that because he's going to throw multiple touchdowns. He's going to throw multiple touchdowns. I see people talking about it because I'm about to get in there too. Because when the Texans went for it, again, because they for field goals. So when they got their second touchdown, when Joe Mixon was able to get a second touchdown of the game, when he was able to get a second touchdown of the game, they went for 2. Had no problem going for 2. Absolutely no problem at all going for 2. That made absolute sense because again, you're up. You'll be up 21-7. You need to make sure there's a possession. You need to make sure there's a 3. That they can only by a touchdown. I mean they can only tie by a touchdown. I'm sorry. They can only tie a touchdown. So that made absolute sense. Also, what needs to make sense is the people that are in the chat and the likes. It's a lot of people, but not that many likes. I understand we just lost. It is a good team. The glass half full. It is a good team. Make sure you're hitting that like button now. Make sure y'all hitting that like button because that ain't making sense. The amount of people that's in here and the likes, they not making sense. So make sure that makes sense. Appreciate that. Make sure you're in the like. But also, so again, going for it. That's fine. Going for it and try to get 2-point version. That's cool. You tried to play with Stephon Diggs, it didn't work. Okay, they got the flag. All right, cool. You put Joe Mixon out there. I have 0 problem with you going for 2. I have 0 problem for Joe Mixon being out there. But it was completely obvious that you were going to run the football with Joe Mixon. All the way out here in Houston. I know they're sitting out there in Green Bay. They knew what you was going to do. Why was you trying? Don't run the football. Joe Mixon has been cooking all game. Why don't run? Don't be so obvious. Shout out to my man, because Wink said this in the middle of the game. Wink said the play that they did with Dory to win the game winner against Jacksonville, the touchdown pass to Dory, that was the perfect play. You could do that with Joe Mixon, or you could do it with Dory. Either that was a perfect play. So shout out to my boy Wink for bringing that up because I agree with him. Once he said that, I said, you know what, bro, that absolutely would have been the perfect play for said situation to get that 2-point conversion. Again, like I said just a few minutes ago, you can win or lose a game by the smallest, most minute things. And that 2-point conversion came costly because at the end of the game, when you're kicking the field goal, at that point in time, it would have been 21-21. Now, Green Bay's field goal only tops the game. Now we can go into extra possessions. Now we can go into overtime, and hey, we have a chance to win said game because both teams get possession. As long as you hold a team to a field goal, both teams get possessions. So you allowing yourself to win the game. So again, don't just go for 2. Just be going for 2. You gotta have the right play call. Like really, I feel like 2-point conversions and going for on 4th downs, they should always be your best play out of all your plays. Out of all your plays that you have, your best play should be your 2-point conversion plays or your going for them because on both of those, you only have 1 shot outside of a penalty. You only have 1 shot on both those plays. So those need to be your best play that you call, your 2-point conversions and your 4th down plays. Those plays have to absolutely be your automatic go-to play. That has to be the best play that you can call. It has to be whether your 4th down play is and your 2-point conversion play. Both of those plays absolutely have to be the play that you can absolutely call. They gotta be the best play that you absolutely call. So to me, don't make no sense. The type of play, again, like shout out to my boy Winkle. Wink said it. The play should have been called. Should have been the play that you used for Dart. Now, on the last possession. After Hutchinson made a incredible catch, clutch catch actually, to be able to keep the drive going. able to keep the drive going. It seemed like we completely did the we're going to kick this goal, give Green Bay is a little time possible. Try to hope for a win. And I do believe that that was a mistake. Not hindsight, that was a mistake because obviously hindsight it was a mistake. It was a mistake. The reason why it was a mistake is because yeah, field goal gave you a lead at that point in time, but it also a field goal, even with you kicking the field goal, allows them to have a field goal to win the game. If you kick the field goal and if the game was tied, kick the field goal and you're up by 3 and you leave them the least amount of time possible. So all they need is a field. They field goal will only tie and not win the game. They field goal overtime. I actually have no problem with how that played out. If they would have did that, problem how that played out. Honestly, keep it all the way 100, all the way a buck. If your field goal that you would have kicked, if Fairbairn's field goal would have gave the Texans a 3-point lead instead of a 1-point lead, and allow Green Bay's McManus field goal to only tie the game and send to overtime, cool. I get that. You don't want to be too risky. Knowing that your field goal only gives you a 1-point lead, and a field goal for them wins it. So that first play, I agree. Hand the football off to Joe Mixon because Joe Mixon been cooking. Hand the football off to him. What he does. Once it was a play behind the sticks and they called a timeout, all right, okay, look, okay, now we need to gain some yards. Not only to make them burn their clock, we need to gain some yards. But I do understand slightly because of the whole pressure situation. You don't want to you don't want to take a sack. You don't want to get in a sack. You don't want to sack fumble. CJ's been under duress. All those things. I do understand that point, but also at the same time, scared money don't make no money, man. Like scared money don't make no money. Your quarterback, your quarterback got to do it, bro. You got to trust your quarterback. You got to trust your offense. You paying Tunsil all this money. You paying Titus Howard all this money. You drafted. You drafted Kenyon in the first round. You traded for Shaq Mason and gave him an extension when you traded for him. You jumped up to trade. You jumped up in the draft to draft Juice Scruggs. Your quarterback is your quarterback. Scared money don't make no money. Scared money don't make no money. At least it should be a very quick hot read. Like, hey, CJ, CJ back. Hey, I'm gonna send Joe Mixon. I'm gonna send Joe Mixon. I'm gonna send Joe Mixon on the route. Hey, drop back. Hey, if that pressure coming in hot, dump that ball off to Joe Mixon, man. Dump that ball off to Joe Mixon. So it's like it's a run. So it's a quick, easy pass. It doesn't stop the clock. He can catch it. Boom. Yeah, he can catch it, maybe get a couple yards, make them use their timeouts, whatever. If they try to play defense, you're able to sit back, convert the field, scan the field, and able to have some time, more time, obviously tick off the clock as well, and hopefully get a completion, an easy, quick throw, easy completions, so time will run off. And I seen it, but I was in the middle of talking. Hey, shout out to that boy, Street Runner Super Chat Love. Definitely appreciate with that. I agree with your take in its entirety. For us to play like and we could have came out with injuries we had when get this game. Yeah, I appreciate you for the super chat love, man. Definitely appreciate that, bro. Nah, I mean, yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. Like it's. I thought honestly, like no bull. I thought, like I said this yesterday in my live stream yesterday. Shout out to everybody yesterday. I was like, man, I think the Texans might lose this game, but um, as long as it's not a blowout, I'm not tripping. And I ain't lying. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna fake it. That's what I said. I know I said. I know exactly what I said. But yeah, this game here definitely irritated me. This game definitely irritated me. I was frustrated with this game. in how inept the offense look. I mean, to be honest, if you look at CJ's numbers, you would have thought we got blown out. You look what CJ didn't say, man, what happened in this game here? Like you gotta be man, you gotta be able to make plays. You have to be able to make plays. You gotta be able to make plays. And like CJ, I don't fault CJ in this game because I mean CJ was under duress the entirety of the game. Like this, so him now his offensive line being as bad as it is, and also showing you how much you need Nico. Like I've been saying it since I know since I know since I've been saying this since week 2 for real. That Nico Collins is the best receiver in the league. Like Nico's the best receiver in the league. I don't care. I know people gonna say we still a Tyreek Hill, it's still a Jettis, it's still a Jamar Chase. I hear what you're saying, and I'm not just saying this just to be like pumping up the Texans like Texans being like, oh man, yeah, everybody's the best. No, I really believe right now that Nico Collins is the best receiver in the NFL. I believe that. I truly believe that. I believe that Nico Collins is the best receiver in the NFL, and it's showing. It's showing. I mean, I know last week CJ had 3 touchdowns. Um, I know last week he had 3 touchdowns. I feel like he only had like 100, like a 90 some yards. Better game if Nico's out there. Uh, I think that that game against the Buffalo Bills was a horrible. Well, no, I ain't gonna say a horrible performance. It was an okay performance. It wasn't great because you turned the football over twice. You touchdown. That was after you don't have Nico Collins. Like you scored that 1 touchdown with Nico Collins. Nico Collins get hurt on that play, and the rest of the game is okay. And you allow Buffalo to get back up in the game. You do an interception, and you also had a fumble. I believe some of that also has to do with him not having 12 out there. Him not having 12 out there. I agree the offensive line is still bad. And again, but I also think that in some of these instances, some of these plays, like some of these CJ and Nico could just make some magic happen. Like you look at all the greats. You look at Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. You look at you look at Andrews and Greg Jennings and Jennings time. You look at Peyton Manning, not Peyton Manning, but Tom Brady and Gronk. Like and also Tom Brady, Randy Moss. Like you look at the great you look at Romo. You look at Romo when he had Dez. I know that's not great, but I'm just saying you look at when guys have that when guys have a number one receiver. Sometimes in duress, sometimes in chaos, they just be making plays. And right now, C doesn't have the guy opposite to make that play with. He doesn't have a guy that he could look to make some play to make that play. He looks at 12 to make game after game, situation after situation. He turns around and he makes a play with 12. He don't have his guy out there. He don't have his guy out there. And I know we look at Stephon Diggs because what Stephon Diggs did and Stephon Diggs in Minnesota, Stephon Diggs is not a number one receiver anymore. Tank Dell is not what we believe Tank Dell to be as it stands right now. Tank Dell is not looking. Tank Dell, as the way Tank Dell playing right now, Tank Dell's not looking like a guy who gets who contract. I know people talk. I know we've talked about this. I mean, like, oh man, like when it comes down to getting paid, like Nico getting paid, you'll be paying Tank. Tank is not looking like a guy that you'll give a second contract to right now. There's nothing about what Tank has done that he will get a second contract right now. Yeah, right now. There's nothing right now. Big mistake to pay Tyus Howard. I mean, to me the pressure for the past this week, and I know the game against Buffalo, I feel like the pressure been in the interior. Honestly, I feel like the pressure been it ain't really been no outside pressure with the ends and stuff like that. It's mostly been middle. That's why I see the pocket really collapsing and breaking down. Is from the pass rush coming up the middle. I agree. I agree. Hutch doesn't play more. Uh, I think that Hutch Hutch. I ain't gonna say every time his name be called because again, Hutch has dropped some passes as well. But I definitely like we got to find a way to. I think if CJ gets more protection and he's better protected, CJ plays a better game, obviously. And I do think if he's protected better, he doesn't have that same pressure that CJ's able to allow his playmakers. He gets time. His playmakers are gonna be able to make plays. K Stover to me didn't have a good. He had a costly penalty with the illegal shift. He also ran the Tank and Tank's return because I actually think Tank actually was about to get something going on that return. And I don't know what Stover was doing. Stover had turned away and looked this way and ran right in the Tank. That ended up going out to ended up being I think well it was a 3-and-out, but ended up being the drive that we didn't get anything on. And I think Tank would have even got the Texans in better field position, but K Stover ran right into it. And, that was on Stover. Because at first, when I first seen it, I thought maybe like Tank ran the Stover, but no, Stover actually had his back turned to the Green Bay Packers and he was facing forward to Tank. He was facing forward to back turned to the Green Bay Packers. And he was facing forward to Tank, and he ran right in the Tank. So yeah. Like I said, I know. I mean, I have no fault to deal. The defense, the defense gave the Texans every chance to win this game. Like I said, forcing 3 turnovers. Uh, I mean, yeah, they gave up 3 touchdowns. They gave up 3 touchdowns to Jordan Love. I mean, you're not gonna hold Jordan Love to you're not gonna hold Jordan Love to 5 turnovers and no points. Like you're not Jordan Love. I feel like he's a top 7, 8 quarterback in this league. Like I don't think he's top 5, but I do think he's right underneath the top 5 guys. So like 6, 7, 8. And I feel like he belongs comfortably in that mix. And he's a guy who could be eventually be a top 5 guy. And hey, like I said yesterday, I mean, hey, we might lose the Packers tonight, but we gonna get our revenge. All it tells me that we're just gonna get our revenge in the Superdome in February in New Orleans. So it is what it is. I still think that we're the best team in the AFC, but we got a lot of stuff to clean up. In the offensive line, definitely is the majority of it. I mean, like you can't. I said this when we played against the Bears. It ended up working against Buffalo because how able to stop Josh Allen, only allowed Josh Allen to have 10. I mean, not even 10. Josh Allen had 9 completions, but you cannot beat teams like You cannot beat teams like the Lions, Green Bay, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens by scoring field goals. You can't. You can't beat them. We had 3 field goals in this game today. It was 3-0. Scored a touchdown. We made 13-0. We scored another touchdown. And then we scored this last one. All 3 times they scored a field goal was a mistake because we needed a touchdown. Dell on the first field goal attempt, Dell had a drop touchdown. Uh, I think on the second field, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was a short field because that's also coming off of the Nevin Hewitt interception. I think the second field goal came off of the Kalen Bullock interception. I think the second field goal came off the Kalen Bullock interception, and then this last field goal, you guys, you need to work harder in the scoring a touchdown, or you melt enough time off that clock. Like to kick that field goal comfortably, you had to give Green Bay a minute or less. You couldn't give the Green Bay inside. I think we gave Green Bay the football like with like a minute 40, minute 50. Had to be because we got the first down, we let it go to 2 minute warning, and then we ran 3 consecutive plays, and they called their timeout. They used their timeouts. They used their timeouts. So I wasn't running off the field because also they were stuffing the run. we weren't even getting any push on the run because they knew what we were about to do. They knew that that's why we should have did some type of fake run. Like the first run, all right, cool. Once how we seen how they was coming off that when we did that first run, we seen how they was coming, how they was attacking that. What we should have done, we should have okay, hey, we're gonna fake the run, and we're gonna fake the run and try to dump it off if we have to. Hey, dump real quick the Joe Mixon, like dump it off the Joe Mixon, the flats real quick, dump it off, and we should be able to do something like that. And we get rid of the football quick, so some type of yardage, and also melt some of this clock, and also try to get some hot reads and quick pressures and things like that. But no, Bobby just stubbornly ran the football. And again, people talking about Bobby needs to go. Y'all in the offense today? You see how Josh Jacobs had 76 yards, Jordan Love had 220 yards. You see how efficient, see how the offense, see how they was attacking the middle. They was attacking the underneath and things like. See how they was doing that because like, hey, they ain't got their linebackers. They don't have a corner opposite Stingley because Kamari Lassiter not playing. You see how they was attacking those type of things, and also how chippy it was out there today. Like we, Diggs before the game basically in 2 Packers, and then like it seemed like after plays and hits, they get to. It was one play when CJ had got a first down. And if I'm not mistaken, I think McKinney McKinney had came in and and got up in CJ's face, and it really should have been helmet to helmet because CJ got the first down. It wasn't a late hit because the dude hit him on the shoulder pad. The dude came in and hit him helmet to helmet. I don't want to say, oh, we know what quarterback was running. No, like helmet to helmet is helmet to helmet. It's not just for quarterbacks and stuff like that. That's hitting high, hitting low for quarterbacks. This the helmet to helmet is universal. I don't care where you at on the field. You're not supposed to do helmet to helmet. That was helmet to helmet. And also the one play when he scrambled and got like 2-3 yards on third down and got pushed out of bounds. The guy, one of the Packers on the sidelines, went like this as CJ was running into him. Like, and CJ was doing this here, and then Packers were all going up in his face about yeah. One, where was the offensive line? Where was Larry Tunsil, Tyus Howard, Juice Scruggs, Kenyon Green, Shaq Mason coming in, getting a penalty? That's a penalty I accept. That would be a penalty. No bull. If when CJ got hit out of bounds and all the Packer fans are coming, Packer players are coming at CJ doing all this, if Larry Tunsil or Juice or Kenyon or Tyus and them but came over there and just pushed one of them Green Bay Packers and they went through a flag, I would say nothing. Because that's what you're supposed to do as an offensive lineman. You're supposed to be a quarterback. You ain't protecting them on the damn field because you're too busy letting them get sacked and pressured. Then when you get pushed out of bounds, you ain't doing the damn thing either. Like, I'm sick of this. I'm this soft-ass mentality by this damn offensive line. Like, what's the problem? Like, really, what is the problem? You got your franchise quarterback out there hanging out to dry. Like, you got him going up in their face. But y'all can't do it. Y'all supposed to be the big uglies. Y'all supposed to be the road graders. Like, come on. Like, where's the toughness? I see all type of toughness and chippiness from the Packers. Where was it for the Texans? Diggs. That was really it. Stephon Diggs and CJ. And also Mixon. That's it. Everybody else on the Texans, all soft. What's wrong with y'all, man? Ain't y'all grown, man? Where's your pride? Come on. This is Texas. It's like serious. Square business. Come on, man. Like, come on. Like, what is your problem? You letting your quarterback out there hang to dry. Like, come on. You supposed to go out there and push them and be like, hey, not today, player. Hey, this is our quarterback. Hey, we out here defending this. No. That's the again, hey, all them false starts and legal formations and all that type of stuff like that. Yeah, no, them penalties we can't accept. Them penalties we mad at. But when you protecting your quarterback and you get an unnecessary roughness right there, hit him again. Do it again. Let them know not today. Feeling like. And we have no problem with that. I have no problem. And I'm damn sure that D'Amico and them wouldn't have no problem with that either. No, we're not about to do that. One, it should have been a penalty on Gray anyway for doing the little shoulder thing that they did when CJ got knocked out of bounds. But where's the offensive line coming in, running in, and protecting him, man? Like, come on. Where's the offensive line running and protecting them, man? Like, come on, you letting your quarterback hang out the dry, bro, and that's not cool. That's not cool at all. Like, come on, come on. Come on now. You gotta do better than that. You gotta do better than that. I need some aggressiveness. I need some intensity. I need some grit. I need that. I need some intensity. I need some grit. I need some moxie. I need you guys to go out there. Nah. Hey, no. Hey, we punching people in the mouth today. Like what we need, that's what we need, some dogs. Like some we need some dogs to punch somebody in the throat. Bro. That's what we need. But now that's what we doing. We playing patty cake and shit. Like, no, we need some dogs out there. Somebody to punch somebody in the face. Like, that's what we need. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Like, hey, that's not gonna cut it. 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 Now, let me calm down. Calm down, because again the Texans still second in the AFC. No matter what happens, because both our losses are NFC losses. And both you beat the Bills, so you got the tiebreaker against the Bills. Baltimore, they already got 2 losses, and both they lost in the AFC, and you also see Baltimore in December. So you still same position. So obviously, no matter what happens in Kansas City, win or lose the tie for Kansas City, you're obviously not going to leap them, because you are 5-2, and they will either be 5-1, 6-0, or 5-0 and tie, like 5-0-1. So again, so you don't have to no, you're not going to leap them. So you're still sitting at second place in the AFC. But division opponent next week, the Indianapolis Colts coming to Houston. That you got now. You have no room for error. No room for the next couple weeks. Colts at home division. You gotta beat the Colts. You gotta go out there and defeat the Colts. You gotta go out there, because if you beat the Colts, that with 0-3 in the AFC South. I know they beat Tennessee. I know they lost to that's Jacksonville's first win. So they lost to Jacksonville, and they lost to us. So you gotta go out there and beat the Colts. You have to go out there and beat the Colts. We can't split with the Colts. We gotta go out there and beat the Colts next week. Like, we gotta go out there. We gotta beat the Colts. That way, it's like I said, is that way it's you will sweep them, so you have the complete tiebreaker against them, and then they'll be 1-3 in the they'll be 1-3 in the South. You'll be 3-0, and you'll be 3-0 in the AFC South. Also, we'll also give you like a way better record than 2, because that would make you also won today, so that would make them 4-4. Because they 4-3, right? So that make them 4-4. That'll make you 6-2. So you gotta beat the Colts. Then you got the Jets on Halloween. You gotta win. And you have to win. If look, I wouldn't say it wouldn't be time to panic, because again, not to be, you still will be. Now you will be in the worst position when it comes to the conference, but when it comes to you, you and the Colts will split, but the Colts will be 2-2 in the division. You would be 2-1 in the division, so you still have a better divisional record than them. You would still have a better divisional record than them, and y'all we'll be tied with the same record. We'll both be 5. We'll both be 5-3, but you will have a better record than them. So you would still be leading the South, but it would be, like I said, then you have now you have no room for error. Like, now your room for error is small, but you lose to the Colts, you have zero room for error. Now you have zero room for error, so it wouldn't be time to panic. It's only time to panic when you're behind. Like, that's when it's time to panic, when you're behind. but you don't want to ever get to that point. Like you never want to get to the time of panicking. So yeah, I wouldn't say it'd be time to panic, but you don't want to get to that. You don't want to get to that point of the season. Don't say that, bro. Say that the next two, the like I feel like I feel like you have to win. Now again, if the Texans lose, if the Texans lose one games, if the Texans lose one of these next two games, they not the team that I thought them to be. Even though I predicted before the season started, I predicted them to lose to the Jets. I actually thought that the Jets would be a better team than they are. So after seeing what I've seen so far this season, uh, after seeing what I've seen so far this season, I think the Texans are a way better team than the Jets, and there's no reason why the Texans should lose to the Jets. I don't think the Texans should lose. I think the Texans should be losing next week either. So the Texans should win these next two games. The Texans need to win these next two games, and we can assess and go forward when we come to that lines. And after that, you have the Lions, you have the Cowboys, and I think is it Tennessee? Yeah, it's Lions, Cowboys, Tennessee, and Jags before the bye, like that. So those are your next games. It's home against the Colts, at New York on Halloween. Sunday night home against the Lions. Monday night at Dallas. Then it's home against Tennessee. Then it's at Asheville. Those are your next 6 games until your bye week, and then we come back from your bye. Home against Miami, at Kansas City, home against the Ravens on Christmas, and then the season off at Tennessee with your last 4 games. So again, like said it last week, that the stretch, the Texas had 2 rough patches, and this was game 1 of the first rough patch. Is this game Colts at the Jag? You got the Jets in the middle, which could be a trap game type situation. Um, Lions, Dallas, and you got a couple games. You know what I'm saying? You got Tennessee, Jacksonville, bye week, Miami. We don't know about what 2 and stuff like that. But then you got the last stretch when you got the city in Baltimore, which could really determine who's the number 1 seed in the seed. So, but hey, out of all those games, the game like this Packers game is one of the games that you could afford to lose. So, like I said, it doesn't hurt you right now, but you can let this Packers game hurt you, especially with it being a 2-point victory, a 2-point loss. You can let this game hurt you if you let other games lose as well. You can't let you. Hey, shout out to KD713 for the chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Oh, wait, go. Why that boy Alexander was running across the field talking shit like he the one who made I never seen a player do that so much. Shout out to KD 713. Yeah, I mean he was hyped up. I mean him and Diggs have history. I'm pretty sure history is dating back from Diggs being in Minnesota. Uh, um, I'm pretty sure his history dates back to him being in Minnesota. Then also obviously we seen the video that was going around like when he was coming out the tunnel, which was funny to me, by the way. Like him like he was coming out the tunnel with the Green Bay Packers. I thought that was funny. Like I'm like, why is Stephon Diggs coming out the tunnel like that? And then we seen what happened before the game started. The just ensued before the game started. So I mean, yeah. I actually like the fact that we got somebody like a Stephon Diggs and like a Joe Mixon have that fiery attitude, like that no nonsense attitude. Like I said in the in the interviews, they saying like shit and damn and stuff like that. They saying stuff like that. They not very buttoned up, and they do play with emotion. Like they do show their emotion on the field. And I mean, sometimes you do. You know what I'm saying, like last week when Stephon Diggs caught the touchdown, we got flagged. And for unsportsmanlike conduct. I mean, every now and again it does, as long as it's not like overpowering and it's like constantly put like no, if it's constantly like you flags and putting you behind the chains and putting you behind the sticks and costing you points, things like that, or players getting suspended behind doing some stupid stuff. That's when it raises issue. But every now and again, just that chippiness and that fireness and that I have no issue with it. Because I don't like. I mean, football is football, and sometimes you can't just always just be good Samaritans and play soft and be boys. Like you get like sometimes you gotta be like, yeah, I'm like that. Like when CJ throws a touchdown, I like that. No, I know. I know Seth Payne said that he didn't like it. I think Sean the guy said the same thing too. That they didn't like it or they had an issue with it or they didn't want to sound like an old man, but they did kind of like, no, don't do that. Like, no, I have no problem with them. Like, I'm that quarterback. Like, that's what I do. Like, I'm like that for real. I'm like that for real. I like you throw the football like, yeah, hey, you can't guard me. Guard me. Same thing when they doing now. One thing I don't like is like when a receiver when a receiver drops when a receiver ball and the cornerback be out there like no fly zone. That frustrates me. Don't do that. Like you wasn't even involved in the play. Like the receiver dropped the football on his own merit and metric. Don't be up here doing all this. Yeah, like you doing something. Uh, Kalen Bullock. I do want to talk about Kalen Bullock. Kalen Bullock is making. I kind of said he leads all rookies in interceptions. Kalen Bullock is making, I believe, a very strong case for defensive rookie of the year. He has 3 interceptions. Uh, he has a fumble recovery as well. He almost had before his initial interception. He almost had another one, like that touchdown that Tucker had. He was a little bit late coming into coming into that play because I think he was right in the net as well. Like he definitely got making plays, and I can definitely see him end up being defensive rookie. Yeah, I think he constantly keeps making these plays. The way he's making, he definitely end up being again. We're going up against a quarterback next week that will turn the football over, and AR. Like AR definitely will turn the football over, but on the first week of the season, like AR definitely makes plays as well, and he's able to make some big plays. So we definitely gonna need Toto to come back. We gonna need Jair to come back because we're gonna need help in the linebacker situation next week. We're gonna need help in the linebacker situation, and like I said, I'm glad Will has come to his own. Will was able to get a sack. Well, finally, Danielle Hunter was able to get to the quarterback as well. Like I thought it was gonna be a clean game from a turnover standpoint and a turnover standpoint and a sack standpoint. I thought both quarterbacks gonna be upright. They wasn't gonna get sacked. Was I sadly mistaken? This CJ, like I said, just completely got abused from the offensive line, not doing their job. And we were able to get to Jordan Love a couple times, and also Jordan Love turned the football over too. But a shootout, I thought both quarterbacks were gonna be able to throw the football very well, put up a whole bunch of yards and touchdowns. And I mean, Jordan Love put up 3 touchdowns, but he didn't put up the amount of yards I thought he was gonna do. And same thing with CJ. I thought CJ way more yards, and CJ didn't get any points. Uh, so yeah, I thought that was going to be the type of game, and it ended up not being that type of game. That's why I was expecting and hoping, but I thought it was going to be that type of game, but it wasn't. Um, but all in all, all in all, all in all, we know what we need to do. Um, Also, the way Jordan Love was playing, we do have Aaron Rodgers, and now they just got Devontae Adams. Like I said, with what AR was able to do week one, we do need to possibly try to make a play for a corner. I know like Seth had kind of like like kind of joked with uh Nico earlier this week, and Sirio had kind of like joked like tongue in cheek about like, hey, we'll turn in the car for a corner. We're gonna thank the fans. We make a play for a corner. I know he's just talking, but he definitely needs to make a play. A lot more from New Orleans. I mean, because New Orleans, I'm pretty sure they might be sellers at the trade deadline. I think the trade deadline is November 5th. So the Texans definitely need to make a play, and I don't think they need to wait. Cause I can see after the Jets game because you got all that time between the Jets game and then the trade deadline Tuesday. I think they should be hopefully trying to make a play to bring in what you call it soon. Or anybody. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be Lattimore, but I feel like they should be like in conversations with somebody to try to bring in some cornerback help because we definitely need it. Uh, appreciate everybody through here, man. Appreciate everybody came through here. I know it was a tough loss, it was a heartbreaking loss. But there was a good team over there. I ain't gonna say it wasn't like it was a bad team. It was a good team over there. Game. I still think it should have been a primetime game. I think it was still just from the name itself, and then also like the way the points went. Definitely should have been a primetime game more so than New Orleans versus Denver. But appreciate it through here. If you ain't hit the like button already, man, make sure you hit the like button. Give you some time to hit the like button. If you ain't hit the like button already, make sure you hit the like button. Give you some time to hit the like button. Shout out to everybody out there. Hit the like button, man. Appreciate that. Shout out to everybody. Super chat love. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Y'all don't really understand how much that I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate y'all hitting the super chat. Definitely shout out to everybody that hit the super chat. Definitely appreciate that. Y'all don't know how much that means to me. Definitely appreciate that. Appreciate that love that y'all showed me by hitting that super chat love. Definitely appreciate that. Friday. Uh, I will be going live on Friday previewing Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. The rematch. This is the rematch. The rematch between the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. If I'm not mistaken, I think AR is back. So AR versus CJ Stroud. Part. Is it part? Because, I mean, I know they played against each other week 2 last year, but AR like only played like 3 drives and then play the rest of the game and then play the last game of the season. He did play all. So I really feel like it's part 3. I mean, I really feel like it's part 2, even though it's technically part 3. I really feel like it's part 2. But anyway, CJ versus AR. Now this one is very crucial and critical because now this game right here could possibly potentially shape how these teams' seasons can go. So this is very, very crucial and critical, especially coming off of a loss, So we definitely this is definitely gonna be a very important game. So I'm gonna be doing a breakdown. I'm gonna do a preview on Friday about the game, and then immediately after the game on Sunday, right here, right here, immediately after the game, we gonna break down what we just seen. So I'm gonna do a preview on Friday, talk about type of things that we can maybe exploit. I'm also gonna do a look back at the first game as well and see things that we can correct and also things that we can exploit as well from the last game. Okay, so more things that we can exploit, more things that we need to correct, things that we need to look for, and things of that nature. So we're gonna talk about exactly what happened in the first game, and we're gonna talk about what happened in the first game, and we also do a preview for the second game, a preview for the game on Sunday. On Friday, that's when we're gonna do a preview for the game. We're gonna talk about some things and things like that. Also, immediately after the game, you already know what it is. Right here, immediately after the game, we're gonna talk about what we just seen, break it down, everything we just seen. But appreciate everybody that came out here. Appreciate all the love. Like I said, everybody hit that like button. If you ain't hit the like button already, make sure you hit that like button before you check out, before you jump out. Make sure you hit that like button. Definitely appreciate that. Everybody hit the super chat. Definitely appreciate that as well. Y'all don't know how much that means to me. Appreciate y'all hitting the super chat love. Appreciate that. What else? I said the Texans fall to the Green Bay Packers, 24-22. But hey, that's all cool, good, and gravy because the Texans will get their revenge in the Superdome in New Orleans come February in the Super Bowl. Like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell for more videos. Holla.